In today's video, we will be discussing the lengthy history of the Elamites. First of all, apologies for not uploading a video for a while, because I was extremely busy. The Elamites originated in an area directly to the east of Mesopotamia, which is often known as the cradle of civilization. Due to their position on the crossroads between Asia and the Middle East, the Elamites had ties with the Mesopotamians and Persians. As such, they played a critical role in the culture and history of both these regions. Elamite history is usually divided into different sections: the Proto-Elamites, Old Elamites, Middle Elamites, and Neo-Elamites in chronological order. The first and most significant Elamite city-state was Susa, which was founded in around 4000 BCE. Susa sporadically transitioned between being an independent city-state and being under the power of the Sumerians, yet they maintained themselves as unique. Slowly, during the early 3rd millennium BCE, Susa and other Proto-Elamite states broke free of Mesopotamian rule and formed their own independent culture. The Old Elamite period was characterized by further conflicts with Mesopotamia. The Awan dynasty of Elam were the first noted rulers of the area. Sargon of Akkad, a prominent figure in Mesopotamian history, conquered the region. The Mesopotamians were interested in exploiting the natural resources of the Iranian plateau, which is located near the region of Elam. Sargon wanted to further cement his dominance over the region by introducing the Akkadian language to the area. This was not entirely successful, as the Awan dynasty broke free of his rule and reverted to their original language. However, the introduction of cuneiform writing to the area stayed, leading to the formation of the Elamite script that we know of. Their language is extremely interesting, but we will touch on that subject later. For the later years of the Old Elamite period, the kingdoms prospered and fended off any other Mesopotamian attacks. Some city-states expanded northeast, going further to the heartland of Persia. Others closer to Mesopotamia were successful in holding off numerous raids from their neighbors. The downfall of the Old Elamites may have been in the form of the Kassites, who were established as the rulers of Elam and Babylonia by the Hittites. After the Kassites began to recede, the rulers of Anshan, another prominent Elamite city-state, expanded into the city of Susa. Susa had been the site of conflicts between the Elamites and Mesopotamians, so it was understandable that the city had a large amount of influence from Mesopotamia. Anshan looked to exterminate Mesopotamian culture in the city, and even expand into the region of Mesopotamia itself. They erected several monuments in the area. They even conquered Babylon, killing the Kassite king. They expanded further into Mesopotamia and even took several cities from the Assyrians. However, this period did not last long, as the Babylonians and Assyrians rebounded and seized several cities from the Elamites. The Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar even invaded Elam itself and sacked the city of Susa. This marked the beginning of the decline of the Elamites. Now we will talk about the multiple theories related to their language. Although they were surrounded by many different language families, Elam is regarded as a language isolate, which means it has no definite relationship with any other languages. Despite taking influences from Mesopotamia and using cuneiform, there has not been any evidence to support that the Elamite language is related to that from Mesopotamia, although several have proposed it. Others have proposed a link to the Dravidian languages of India, which has been defended because of Elamite's long history of trade with India. However, there has been a lot of criticism surrounding it, so Elamite is generally regarded as a language isolate. Now on to the Neo-Elamite period. During the beginning of the Neo-Elamite period, the Elamites were confined to the traditional homeland of Elam. Indo-Iranian kingdoms such as the Medians and Parthians began to arise during this time. The Elamites were involved in many conflicts in Mesopotamia, including aiding the Assyrians to stop Babylonian independence. The Elamites maintained good relations with the Assyrians for a while, but one Elamite king attacked Assyria, leading to a bad taste between the two. Assyrian response to this was delayed because of nomadic invasions in the northern part of the empire, but Ashurbanipal soon invaded Elam and destroyed the city of Susa. But soon Elamite kings managed to rebuild the kingdom, taking advantage of civil wars unfolding in Assyria. Other kingdoms, such as the Medians, also freed themselves from Assyrian rule during this time. The Medians had formed an alliance with other former Assyrian vassals to conquer the weakened Assyrians. The Assyrians were defeated, but the Elamites were also overrun by these rampaging large kingdoms attacking Assyria. But later, during the 2nd century BCE, Elamite kings created a kingdom called Elamites, which was a vassal state of several Iranian kingdoms during the time, extending the life of the fading Elamite culture. It was soon absorbed by the Sasanian Empire. The Elamites certainly had a long history, and although they are associated with the early Mesopotamian states and beginning of civilization, they lasted far longer than one may have expected, with traces of their culture lingering to past the 2nd century CE. I chose this video because several people had requested it, so feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments. From now, there will be a greater delay in my video creation, though not as long as this one took, and it will likely be every 2 or 3 weeks. Thank you for watching, and consider subscribing to this channel to support me in making more of these videos.